All right, everybody. Good morning again. This is Ryan Ellis from the National Weather Service here in Raleigh with what I hope will be a pretty short briefing this morning as we finally have a week of fairly nice weather here across the area today. We're already getting up into the 60s in most locations, and we expect that to continue to rise here as the clouds break over the next several hours. But this briefing here is from March 11th through the 17th. And we'll start with the overall synopsis. High pressure moving into the area for the early part of the week. Not much to worry about. Dry and fairly warm, around normal temperatures for this time of year. Today will be a little bit above normal, but then we could be dropping down near normals or a little bit below even for the next couple of days. As high pressure moves over the area, that'll continue through midweek. As you can see in the upper right panel, big high pressure over the mid-Atlantic states and down across the Carolinas. That'll continue to move eastward and offshore, which will swing the winds back around from the south, and we'll start getting some warm air advection again by the end of the week. So out ahead of this cold front for late week. This is the only weather maker in the forecast, and it is a weak cold front as it comes across. In the bottom left corner here, we see low pressure up over the Great Lakes moving up into Canada. And as that low pressure moves away, it's going to drag this cold front across the area very slowly as it does so. The front could get hung up on the mountains a little bit, and as a result, the western part of the state could see a fair amount of rain out of this. But as it does move across the central and eastern portions of the state, we expect the precipitation to slack off, and so not much of a flood threat with this one, at least in the central and eastern parts of the state. Now, there will be a little bit of a chance for some isolated thunderstorms with that, particularly across the southern and eastern counties. We'll keep an eye on that, but it doesn't look like much of a severe threat at this point, maybe just some garden variety thunderstorms. And then once that moves through, expect that to move through early Saturday morning. Another high pressure starts to move in from the west, and that'll clear us out for the weekend. And so we should be dry for the weekend, but a little bit cooler with temperatures probably in the upper 50s or so. Again, we're totally clear here on the severe threat over the next 3 days, so nothing to report there. Here's the rainfall totals, and again, you see dry North Carolina. You get to Thursday and Friday. All of that rain should fall on Friday, and you see the very light green colors indicating 1/100 of an inch to 1/10 of an inch across the east, and maybe 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch everywhere else. And that is about it for the rainfall. This is the past 7 days, and we did have a decent amount of rain over the past 7 days, and that's caused some of our rivers to either be in minor flood at this time or get close to flood. And you can see some of the darker greens across the southwest. We got 1.5 to 2 inches radar estimated. Less so across the north and east, but still 1/2 inch to 1 inch. As a result, here is the hydrology picture. At the current time, the Neuse River at Smithfield and the Roanoke at Roanoke Rapids and Scotland Neck are the 3 forecast points that are currently in minor flood. All of those forecasting to go down from here, so no further flooding expected. And you can see with the 1-day forecast there, those 3 points still in minor flood, and Goldsboro close to flood stage but coming down at this time, so no threat there, and no threat across the rest of the warning area. Looking ahead, Climate Prediction Center outlook for week number 2 here. We do have a little bit below higher chances than normal of below normal temperatures, but we are dry through that time, and so no threat of any winter weather at this time. So summary for the week: dry, with the exception of Friday. Seasonable temperatures. Front moves through on Friday, slight chance of thunder in the southern counties. Dry and cooler for next week. And then those hydro points we talked about. There's the 5-day forecast at the bottom. As always, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the box. Otherwise, hope you have a great week and enjoy the improvement in the weather.